Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, September 16th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarification points. First one, this number there you see there will be changing around and jumping, and the candlestick you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame for all these charts, meaning each one of these candlesticks, again, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, ticker symbol ATXG. Very, very impressive movement today. And what I like about it the most now moving forward is some very well-defined levels, specifically this area right here at $6.50. And let me be very clear, me drawing that line, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that's a great discovery or a special skill. I assure you a lot of people have drawn that line. And I say that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic price movement. So while there are no guarantees in the market, my point here is that it is more than plausible and valid to think that if the price comes up to 650 and can get a break up through it, that break in and of itself could very well create that much more upside buying pressure. So if you're somebody that likes to play breakouts, then 650 is a very nice level there. And then if you're somebody that likes to play pullbacks, there's another very well-defined level down here right around $5.60. Generally speaking, you can see that several times the price has been down around that level, and several times the price is held strong. So another area that's worth at least keeping an eye on if you like to play pullbacks that come down and then, potentially get some sort of bounce back upwards. And then from just kind of an overarching pattern perspective, you have the resistance, you have the support, you have the nice move there. You could call this a bull flag pattern if you want. But I mean, no, that's not a bull flag. That's something, I don't know. No need to get into an argument over, semantics in terms of, what's the pattern called. But like I said, the primary dynamic, at least that catches my eye, are how well, defined these areas are, specifically that 650 mark. So let's see if the price can indeed get a breakout. Next one here, BEAT, same exact logic, which is why I put this one back to back so I don't have to repeat myself. But I assure you, like I was just saying, me drawing that line up here at $2 and what is that, about $2.32 is not a great discovery. No special talents. You heard the spiel. No guarantees, but is it valid? Is it rational to think that the price comes up there and breaks up through there, that could create good, solid upside buying pressure? That is absolutely a valid thought process to have. So keep an eye on that from the breakout standpoint. As far as supports are concerned, once again, very well-defined level down here, right around the $1.92 mark. And then from the pattern standpoint, have the resistance, have the support. I think this is a much cleaner bull flag pattern if you wanted to call it that. But all in all, if you like to play bull flags, if you like to play these sorts of situations down below $5, here you go. Next one here, AMTD, and started off the day very nicely, and then late morning looked like it was going to get strong again because opening 30 minutes, you can see right there, price came all the way up there. And then all of a sudden the price started to head back up. And this is why you want to have stop losses because it got rejected and then didn't pull back, but really came down in a pretty dramatic way. Now, depending on your strategy is going to depend on how you view this chart. What do I mean? Well, if you are some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you were buying there or you were buying right there, well then, yeah, from that point of view, the chart looks really bad. Now, if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, I get it. Yeah, there was a big pullback, but when you stop and consider where the price is from a lows perspective, meaning you have lows right here, you have lows here, you have lows, down there, and you envision those lows as stair steps. Well, overall, big picture-wise, these stair steps are still progressing in the upwards direction. So again, it just goes back to, were you some sort of day trader? Do you care about more so the bigger picture point of view? And obviously, only you can answer that question, which again is going to dictate whether or not this is still a bullish or bearish chart to you. So, like I said, the ball now remains in your court. Next one, ticker symbol AMC, and overall, started off the day very nicely. You can see came up, got the breakout through that area of resistance, that red line right there, which I mapped out in yesterday's video, and now is pulling back like the overall markets did. But to give credit where credit's due, and this is a great example that you could throw into a textbook, but there is a rule in charting which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And generally speaking, like I said, so far so good. The price has pulled back, but look right where it started to go sideways. And in fact, as I speak, the last 30 minutes are getting a nice little green candle, but this is all occurring right at this former breakout point. So far so good. As I've said, $9 and let's see. Yeah, right around 975 is going to be that level that you're going to want to see hold. Right now, the price is up above 980. So that's good. And that's going to be the preferable situation moving forward, because if the price falls further and further below 975, at that point, you really have to question, if this move right here was actually legitimate or just some sort of dead cat bounce. But right now, in my opinion, at least, I would still call it legitimate, because if I draw something like this, then you still do have a bull flag pattern here in a much more kind of shorter term standpoint. So that's the importance, at least in my opinion, of 975. As far as levels of resistance, nothing has really changed here. I'll just extend this line out so we can keep an eye on it with that level up there right around 1050. But in my opinion, the most interesting dynamic is going to be, can the price stay above this 975 mark? So let's see how it plays out on Friday. Next one here, SQQQ, and this is not a stock, but rather an ETF that allows you to make money if you think that the NASDAQ is going to go down. So if you think that QQQ is going to go down, then you would actually make money on this one, because it's going to go up. And with the Qs dropping today, this one is now approaching a very, very, we'll call it self-fulfilling prophecy. In fact, let me do this real quick. Okay, no, I thought I was maybe missing something, but what I thought I saw is what I needed to see. But again, a lot of people have noticed this area right here. They've drawn that trend line, and they're going to be watching a very, very long-term trend line here. Rejected the price, and right now the price is right within striking distance. So it brings about a more than valid question of, is this level going to be broken? And that's what a watch list has to do with a whole lot, is finding interesting situations, not randomly rushing out and buying anything, but watching it and seeing how the price continues to behave, and see if it behaves in a way that ultimately does fit your personal risk tolerance and your strategy. So if you are somebody that likes to try to anticipate breakouts, maybe play breakouts, maybe let the thing break out and then try a pullback, there's so many variations out there, but the underlying dynamic here is you got to first find those interesting situations. And given where the price is relative to the trend line on SQQQ, I would certainly call this an interesting situation worth at least keeping an eye on. Want to take a quick break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I am offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool of charts, how they can and should be used, and why they're just so powerful in building consistency, then certainly get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right on the webpage you can click to get signed up. Now, one unique situation here, because it is a live event and because it is actually this evening, I totally understand as a father of 5 kids, if you have something on your schedule already and you can't make it, I understand. Maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you just completely missed the event. Well, it will be recorded. So after the event is done and I get the recording uploaded, I would be happy to send you a link to it. So if you do want to, still see what happens, then go ahead, drop me an email and I'd be happy to send you a link. But of course, if you can make it live, then get signed up and hopefully I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and a very cruel move today. Well, that depends on your strategy, but for people that like to play breakouts or like to play breakouts and then play the momentum that follows the breakouts, they just continued to get jerked around today. I mean, you can see right there, and this will mean, let me take a step back. I've been talking about that 305.50 red line quite a bit, but today was a period where broke out, just kidding, came back down. Broke out, just kidding, came back down. Little miniature breakout, just kidding, came back down. Right here, broke out, just kidding, rolled back over, came back down. So from a breakout player standpoint, very, very difficult to trade this. So if you're trying to play breakouts and you're losing money, I can see how that would be the case, because truly a tricky chart when you have all these fake breakouts that occur. So moving forward, nothing has really changed. 305.50 remains that key and very stubborn level of resistance. Not stubborn in the sense of not allowing the price to get through it, but I would argue probably way more stubbornly, because it's a tricky one, is letting the price get above it and then just saying, no, just kidding, and then back down it goes. So that level remains the key area to watch from a resistance standpoint. As far as supports are concerned, the level that the chart seems to really be honoring right now is that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. You can see quite a bit of that yesterday. So if the price pulls back any more on Friday, then right around 375 is going to be that first key level of support, with the next key level down there being right around 296.50. But yeah, 305.50, very, very tricky level. Next one here, NBRV. Absolutely love the pattern on this one. So if you're a penny stock player and you like to play patterns with a good solid volume, I definitely keep an eye on this one. But once again, not trying to impress you by drawing out this pattern, but we have the top of the pattern resistance there at 28. We have this line right here, which is illustrating the fact that the price is actually sloping upwards right now. So the price is slowly but surely making progress in the upwards direction. And from a pattern standpoint, just keep it the same color, resistance, support. Nice, beautiful ascending triangle here. So does that guarantee the price will break out? No, but as I've said, is it rational to think that if the price comes up here, breaks up through the top part of that pattern at 28 cents, that could create some additional upside buying pressure with the technical pattern breakout? That is certainly a valid thought process to have. So if you like to play technical patterns, you like penny stocks, definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one, SOFI, and overall, nice solid mover today. Yeah, there was this late day pullback, but all things considered, certainly showed some signs of progress. So the first thing I want to get in play is this trend line right here. It's seemingly doing a very good job of just forecasting where those previous pullbacks have stopped and where they may stop again if this pullback does continue. So from a support standpoint, I would keep an eye on that. But the one thing you got to remember is even if the trend line is broken, you do have that purple line, the 50-period moving average, not that far down below it. So it would just be terrible to have it come down there, break through it, you get stopped out, and then it bounces right off that 50-period moving average. Now, to be fair, maybe it breaks through both of those. That's always possible too. But just something to keep in mind is the trend line is helpful, sure, but with that 50-period moving average right down below it, it does kind of add a little spice to the equation that you'd want to account for with any decisions that you're making. In terms of levels of resistance, just to give up a little bit more perspective, what's interesting about where it stopped today was, and if it can get back up there through the 665 mark, is next level not until way up there around the 690-ish mark, which is coming from way back here in the charts history, both there and there. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, overall, especially when you consider the markets had a down day today and this thing was able to make a good overall move. Yeah, it's come down here a little bit. In fact, you could argue a little bull flag pattern there. But like I said, given the context of the overall markets, this one had a good solid day. This one is on the list for one reason and one reason alone, and that is well, I guess two reasons. But the first reason being, it's well known in the sense of, okay, people are going to remember this one because a lot of people are going to remember that crazy action right there where this thing just exploded. So it's already a little popular in the sense of, oh yeah, I remember that one. That one made a huge run. But the main reason is, again, everybody is going to be watching that $30 mark. It's so well defined. And in fact, if you look at it on other time frames, it becomes that much more well-defined. But $30 is the big self-fulfilling prophecy point where if the price does break through it, I could see the thing getting a lot of momentum. Once more, disclaimer, no guarantees, but nobody could accuse you of saying $30. That's some sort of random area. $30, there's no price history around that level. What would draw your attention to $30? That wouldn't make any sense. It's very, very clear. Rejected, basically rejected again right there. So definitely keep a close eye on it. And if it can break, I think there could be a lot of momentum that flows in. And then CMRA, not as, I wouldn't say it as obvious, but still general premise, I think still relatively obvious. And this level right here, you got to think that all sorts of people are now watching that $4 mark as a very, very key level, given you had the price rejected there, and then you had the price essentially rejected right there. So like I said, I'm not as bullish on the break as what I would be for NRBO, but still, this one makes a whole lot of sense. You have a nice uptrend still occurring. So if the price does come up there and break up through it, does that produce guaranteed results? Say it with me. No, of course not. But is it valid? Is it plausible? Say it with me. Yeah, that's a plausible thought process to have as a trader, and that is our job as traders. We're not here to act like degenerate gamblers. We're here to have logical and plausible trade plans and thought processes. And to me, that $4 break, while it guarantees nothing, it does show that there's some rationale going behind any sort of decision. And then as far as supports are concerned and maybe pullbacks, right down there around the 330 mark is an interesting level. But yeah, in my opinion, $4, certainly very, very interesting level. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool and how it can and should be used, then certainly get signed up for the free class. Like I said, it'll be this evening, Thursday, September 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But if you can't make it because you already have something on your schedule or you just flat out missed it, then go ahead, drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I would be happy to send you a link to the recording. All I ask is just, you got to give me some time because the live event will first has to happen, and then I got to get it uploaded. But after I do that, then I'd be happy to send you a link to where you can watch the replay of it. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy them, if you would like for me to continue to put in the time and effort required to get this content out to you, then help me out by doing two things. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow, give me a request of a ticker symbol you'd like me to cover. But hitting the like button and leaving a basic comment really do go a long way in helping me out, helping the channel out, so I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing any sort of requests that you may have. So again, get signed up for that free training. Hopefully I'll see you here in a few hours. And if you can't make it, go ahead and drop me an email.